is there no chat? No chat. Why is there no chat? Oh, there it is. All right. I'm at it again here. Knowing that if I stream just on YouTube and I don't tell anyone on Instagram, they'll no one will show up. A little photo of my hometown that someone took. Trying to paint it real quick, because I'm out of time pretty much already. Get these Insta goobers in here for a little bit. Eventually I'll definitely tire of that shit. Just fucking leave your damn phone. Not even a phone, just leave Instagram. Dude, shit. Face the computer. You YouTube. Go to YouTube. Here. I'm already not doing this as fast as I need to. No, don't fucking... I'm immediately too worried about accuracy. I'm made to be much more worried about fun, happy, loose painting time. This is nuts. This photo is nuts. I can't even believe this is real. Instagram doesn't seem to be working. I'm gonna turn it off real soon. My plan here is to just loosely paint in everything. Hometown here. This is nuts, dude. It's too nuts. I can't even fathom. I mean, I don't have the proportions of my canvas set the same as the image at all, which was a part of the point. Okay, here we go. The goal here is not to half-ass this, but simply do it quickly. Yeah, Instagram wasn't working. It wouldn't even load, which is fine. I was not a fan. I did not want to have Instagram going and have someone join on there and chatting on there, and then it doesn't make sense with the chat on here, even though no one's on here, you know what I mean. What the fuck color is that? I'm already out of time. Shouldn't have done this. This is stupid. Nope. These are way farther away, so I'm not gonna have that touch. But man, what a crazy photo. Okay, let's see. This. Like this maybe? Nope. Wonder how many paintings have been bought and admired, and the artist only sees the parts that they got wrong and thinks it's like a horrible painting. And technically, if you're going off of accuracy, maybe it's not a great painting. Maybe they really fucked it up. But whoever buys it doesn't know. I mean, they might know roughly what a place looks like if it's based on a real place, but okay, that's that. I need a little bit of that in there. Orange lines in here. One of the things I miss the absolute most is the sky. Like, I'm trying to just do general, generally there's ridges of this orange color, and so that's what I'm doing. And not, stick so accurately to the actual shapes in the cloud there. Just get the idea. But it's nuts. It's so much shit going on. It's actually very hard to, like, I'm winging it, but I think there's, I don't know, dude. I can tell you right now, this sucks. This sucks. I will be deleting this. I will be pissed. You will not be hearing this commentary. I don't fucking know what I'm doing. Fucking shit, dude. I just don't know what I'm doing. Like, you do the loose blocking, but how do you know if that's gonna work? This could turn out to be fucking garbage. I mean, I didn't pick an easy one. I'm not a fucking master painter here, and I picked what appears to be a very difficult, low light image here. I think the idea behind painting is always like, oh, I'll just do like brush tricks. Do blobs here and brush tricks here and there and everywhere, and I don't want to do a brush trick. I don't want to use a brush trick so much on digital art because it's just cheating. I mean, it's genuinely cheating. You know, when people are always like, well, if you can draw it anyway, like, why not just do it? I'm like, yeah, I suppose, but why not just then have a stamp for a figure or their head or all of the above? Like, at what point do you have to draw it yourself, you know? That's stupid. I think it's stupid. Like, I've used them. I've used those kind of stampy brushes for, like, some leaves and stuff, you know? And it's cheating. I mean, shit, it's straight up cheating. It's like, yeah, I could draw this, but it's so much faster and easier to do this, and so I'm gonna do that, and then, I don't know, man. It's not bueno. The days of bueno are no. Feel me? I'm not gonna put in these buildings, and that's causing a problem because I don't really know what to actually do here. Like, if I zoom way out, I'm like, whoa, look at that. Way out. I mean, I've put, like, no effort into it so far. But that's because I don't know what I'm doing. And I think if I go faster, I'll get to a point where I know, yay, this is going to work, or no, it's not going to work, and I can stop. But I'm definitely not fast enough. I think some brush tricks in here, like what I just choose, the Evolve brush, which comes with Procreate. This brush, it doesn't actually have a shape, so you still have to use the marks it makes to make the right shapes that you want. So it's a more organic brush trick, like actual painting. You know, over a stamp brush. I think stamp brushes are basically like, I don't know, dude, because they're used in the industry And then everyone's like, well, you gotta be fast. It's all fast, 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 fast. It's like, well, if it's stamp brushing, I mean, shit, dude, that's... Like, you're not actually painting it. You're just stamping it. Begins the slippery slope of, you know, do we actually pay a person to do this? Or now, shit. If they're just using a stamp, let's just get a robot to do it. Obviously, I'd rather someone get paid to use the stamp than a robot, because people need jobs, and it's still better, but... I'm not near as against stamp brushes as I appear to be right now. I just know that they are definitely cheating McCheaterson for a lot of us who are just like, yeah, I don't want to, take the time. I don't want to take the time to do it. So I'm not going to. Lately I've been looking at these pictures of my hometown, and holy moly, it's insane, like, to think that I left such a place. And obviously things aren't always what they seem to be. I mean, first and foremost, it's just very expensive, so it's like, okay, I can't afford to live here, so I have to leave. But now, with the way things have gone, I can't afford to live anywhere. So at that point, fuck it. I should have just made it happen. I'm not being overly accurate with my colors here. Like this green I'm using now. It's definitely not dark enough. But it's hard to commit because, like, the photo's really dark. It's almost hard to tell what's going on, and I don't want it to be so hard to tell. But also, I'm not good enough to do such a low light painting. I mean, shit, right now, this little tree brush thing I'm doing, I have no idea if this is gonna work. Like, it's looking okay. It's definitely working ish. But, like, if I keep doing this for the next 30 minutes, is it gonna really come together? Or is this also no bueno? I think without the buildings of any kind, it's hard to get the scale. Like up here in the foreground, this is still pretty far away, so I'm tempted to put some sort of, like, I don't know, fake building in there. I don't want to draw the fucking Ruby Tuesdays. that sits on this hill. So we're gonna make something up. Just really wanted to do a landscape. I really wanted to do some watercolor, but not ready, brother. Actual watercolor, not digital. What does this brush do? Literally nothing. What the fuck? Oh. I watched a video today. I don't remember what it was called. I think it was called The Three Amigos. But it was these three like master watercolor painters. These three dudes that literally painted this giant scene together all at the same time. And like their hands were overlapping and they were like stepping around each other, but they did it like so smooth. They're totally in sync and they just painted this awesome image together. It was nuts. It was pretty crazy. I've never seen anything like that. I just don't want to forget where these brushes are. I don't use a lot of brushes, and then I find one, and I'm like, yeah, cool. Where was that? I don't know. This is silly. This is silly. This little, I don't know, horse hut. This is not what's there. It's not a Ruby Tuesday, as a dang sure. Yeah, when it's really, really small, it already looks good in the little preview window there. That's fun. It's just about like finding that sweet spot where it still looks good up to a certain point, and then you start to just see brush strokes and everything instead of the rest of it. My biggest problem, my number one problem in doing any art stuff right now, especially, like I'm looking at art that I've done a while ago, and some of it I'm like, that was actually pretty good. But I know that, like, I remember doing that piece, and I was like, well, during that piece, I remember being very dedicated to having the patience to, however long that's gonna take me is however long it takes, the end. And nowadays, oh shit. I have no patience. I have no patience at all for any of this. It's just a constant need to post. You know? Instagram demands that I post constantly. I'm never gonna get this to look right. Especially not in the right, in a decent amount of time here. I don't know what to do with this little building. It's stupid. It's a dumb building. Maybe something brownish. There's actually a decent amount of these little, like if you go past the edge of town, you can see buildings like this. So it's not totally far-fetched. The problem is I don't fucking know what I'm doing. Drawing? Yeah, this one. Okay. Starting the way I did was kind of cool though, because it's giving it kind of a misty look here, which is rad. It's not a misty place, so I'll have to like change the title of the video to like using my hometown as a reference to painting something else. And I know, like, when you block in shapes and then add detail, like, after the fact, but, like, really blocking in those shapes, not what I did. Not like this loose, kind of weird, vague block in. Like, really block it in. Get those values in 100%. Like, that shit is so effective. And I know that. I know that in my brain, and yet I never do it when I'm doing a landscape. I only barely just started doing it with characters. You just give it the old lasso tool, and block it in, and it's amazing. Like, it feels like, no, that's wrong. Like, that's hard shapes. That's not how that looks. But man, is it effective? Okay, we're gonna see. I don't necessarily want to use the same texture here. But I also don't know what else to do. Have your... I mean, geez, it's not accurate. Boy, is this inaccurate. But that's fine. What I really want to do is be able to, you know, know, say fuck accuracy. I just want to do a beautiful painting. Some paintings are beautiful and they're nuts. Like, what the hell is going on? They're like nuts. Yeah. What the hell's going on? This artist I found on Instagram whose paintings are just definitely like this needs to be bluer. His paintings are so messy, but not the kind of messy you're now thinking of. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. This is kind of working, kind of not working. I think the problem is I'm leaning way too close to black up here. And I don't want any black, because black's not real according to the pros. I disagree, but I'm not a pro, so I must be wrong. You know what I mean? I mean, I definitely have just a general lighter tone. You can see a lot more. There's not a lot of variation of tree in my hometown. It's like 99% pine tree and 1% aspen. Maybe 90-10, but in any case, those are the only two. That's it. And I'm not sure if that's like is that gonna read, you know? Or if it's just gonna look like, oh, you're just lazy, you're not painting all the trees. Like, how detailed do I make these trees? And things that you learn from painting in real life more, things that you learn from teachers, taking classes, doing follow along videos, and not just winging it on your own. What's this do? Ooh. No bueno. I feel like this is the one for this rough, snowy mountain texture. Tell you, one of my favorite things to watch a painter do is snowy mountain texture. Watching them just press and scrape the palette knife along there like that. It just works. It works so perfectly. It's definitely one of my favorite things. So now that I'm at this point, I'm realizing that this part of the mountain in the image is so much darker because the brightest point is actually right behind it. But you also do have a ton of atmospheric perspective. But I'm losing out on my proper shape here. Love this brush. This brush is great for these. Eventually I need to learn how to adjust it a little bit. Make a new one that's a little bit more what I want. Like sometimes it's perfect, but sometimes I want a little bit of a different behavior from it without having to do this part where I'm blending with that same brush. I hate this little building I put in. I wish I didn't do that. But like I don't want to delete it. You know, I don't want to give up. Just get rid of it. I want to be able to paint, you know, a little building. There's it's tough. In the photo there's, you know, other buildings and they're hard to see, but then there's like a little bit of light, some little, like right now in this moment is when I would want some palette knives. Huh, no. That's tough. Because in the palette knives, right now you would kind of press into all these dark areas I made and just scrape away little shapes, and that would become, you know, maybe some little buildings. This cloud over here, like it's got so much detail, so much dimension, but it's so far away you really don't have darks, but it's also not bright. It's fucking nuts. And also, it's fun to see how the angle of the sun affects differently, because like obviously these clouds up above are don't mind my tiny cat. Hey, stop it. I'm busy. Yo, that's like creating cloud texture on its own. Because you see, it creates random shapes and everything, but they're all definitive. They're actual shapes. They're not like loose, weird, like fuzzy shapes. It's not like this right here, this yellow. There's no bueno. It's also the wrong color completely. So after I do this, I'm gonna have to just go back in and change it anyway. Or add to it. It's just more than that. But man, this brush is really giving me that kind of horizontal vibe of these clouds. It's actually really hard to get for some reason. So if anyone is watching this ever in the future, and you see this part, I'm using the wedge tail brush that comes with Procreate under the vintage menu as a blender, mostly just doing tapping. And it is nuts. It's not, done. There's more I need to do for sure. But damn, that was fucking sick. So let's do. So this is so incredibly bright. And so what I'm doing here is this is meant to be almost the brightest part. Putting in these. I'm gonna go this way and this way. It's kind of like a neon salmon for this bit of cloud ridge here. Neon salmon. I think that was Bob Ross's favorite color. These clouds in the picture are much cooler. Mostly it's the goal here was just, quick little painting. But then I picked one that took way too much time and effort to actually do right, as one does. And so I'm just kind of doing the rough idea of what's happening. I don't fucking like it. Just a second ago I was hyped as hell on that brush, but I am not a fan now. So then I'm putting in this, get a little redder. Along here. There's some gray that comes in. Oh, that needs to be bigger. Comes in here. I'm gonna use that same blending thing again, see how that goes. I mean, this really was meant to be an experiment, but you always hope that your experiments just go really well, and you're like, hey, yeah, right, I did it. Okay, God damn. It's not going well. I don't like it. I'm in that renewed state of disapproval. Like, this blending thing is great for creating these shapes of cloudness, but it does get rid of some vibrancy. It blends things together, which obviously it's a blending tool. I'm sure you can hear my fucking roommates. That's nice. I'm not getting the same texture situation I was getting earlier on. I don't know why. So I guess I will use that brush again. But as a brush and not a blend. Just see what I get out of that. It's a weird brush because at first, like, ooh, yeah, nice, and then it'll stop kind of like doing what you thought it was doing, and it starts like just repeating the same marks over an area. It's very strange. So I haven't officially like figured out what it does, but it does make some interesting textures. I think one of the keys of this brush is that you can't control it completely, and so you get a more unique. I mean, the sky looks cool. Honestly, it looks kind of like a painterly sky. You know? It's not what I was like going for. This is working or not. The clouds are just so like organized looking, but then when you try to paint them like that, you're like, that's too organized. So you try to add randomness, like, that's too messy. I think it's a good idea to just do what's in the image. Okay, as far as this one goes, I have no idea what to do back there. The sky is definitely brighter, but there's definitely like a tiny rim of brightness on a lot of these little ridges. It's so detailed. It's so detailed, but it's so far away. That's crazy. I'm not sure what to use. 6B pencil that comes with Procreate. Let's see if I'm trying not to zoom in. You know, I don't want it to be too hyper detailed. because the rest isn't, you know. But like it's hard to get it right. I mean, it almost looks it's just absurd in the actual photo. How much detail is in this cloud. And I think about that a lot when I'm looking at the sky, thinking like, oh, how would you paint this? And I think like, god damn, like you can see an absurd amount of detail in the clouds, even though they are so far away. It's definitely not accurate. Like that is not what it looks like, but like it looks cool in the painting. My main problem is the rest of it. I don't hate the sky. I like the sky. But now the rest of it's not working for me. There's actually a lot more of a gap here. And then gotta figure out what to do. There's a cloud brush. Get the fuck out of here. Stickman. That was the one. I think that was the one that I used. Nope, obviously I'm wrong. Oh wait. That was for that. Okay, yeah, I think that's the one that I used for that mountain texture. That mountain texture, like you know what I'm talking about. A while back, we started a Bob Ross paint along. And I was experimenting with brushes that might get me that mountain texture. Whoa, what the fuck? Did not expect there to be other colors going on. I mean, that's kind of fun, you know, but like I haven't been doing that kind of like extra painterly shit for this. Oh, that's a crazy brush. I love it. It's nuts. It's very hard to tell what's going on this like rock formation back there. It's very far away, and there's a ton of details in the photo obviously, but you can barely see. I don't know, I don't hate like that part. I don't know, dude. Again, you zoom out and it looks good. Doesn't look great, and I'm not fully. God, I'm trying not to zoom in, but it's just sometimes you need to, right? Like if this was a painting, I would just put my head real close, right? Does that not count? Where did that go? Elements, charcoals, abstract. Okay, it's under abstract, Stickman. Remember that. Let's see if it works. Actually, ooh, the fuck. Oh, that's insane. What a crazy brush. Yo, look how bright that is, dude. Shit. That's cool. That's really cool. if it would work for adding those little lights across the hill. I don't think so. There's too much color variation. It's a little too sharp, maybe. What a wild brush. It's bitchin'. Well, too wild though. I might say it's too wild for this painting. There's some houses over there on this side of the hill in the photo. However, this is not working. Like, it's hard to know how much of the house to draw. You know, there's so much tree action. I mean, this is a knot of what it looks like in the photo. There's not even glowings over there, actually. It's mostly in town, which is kind of connected to what is actually a Ruby Tuesdays here. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I didn't do the Tuesdays, and that's all it ever needed. Like, this building is weird. Like, it's not a real building. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I don't know what this roof is made out of. I think it just had that misty vibe, so I thought it needs to look a little more old-timey. I did actually mean to, yeah, here we go, try to pull the cloud down a bit. It's like kind of rainy in the distance here. And this is a bit extreme, but I almost dig it. Kind of cool. I wonder if this brush will help me get that like blockiness that I actually wanted over here, and if it's too late. I mean, regardless, it's just fun. Fun little image. So, I mean, sometimes you don't need more. You don't need more stuff, more markings. Sometimes you just need texture variety. And so then I'll try to pick a brush and use the blender with that brush to just kind of move some stuff around and add texture that way. Especially like this is pretty far away from, you know, the quote-unquote viewer. What does this brush do? Well, I think I've tried this one before. bush is called Little Pine. Gotta be careful though, because it can be a little too blatant. Like even in my image here, these trees, this tree line here is all actually smaller, like farther away than what I have done. It's immense distance from whoever took the photo to the subject matter here. So maybe if I add, because like something about that would be that you would see a ton of smaller detail. So there'd be a lot of bushes and rocks and variety in the terrain here, and I have none. And so I think that takes away from the distance. I'm going to do the same thing with a slightly lighter color. Down here. Because like right there in the picture, like this blends down in, but there's like still buildings and houses so far away down here. They're absolutely tiny. Like that would be too much aggressive detail for this, otherwise quick little painting. And I don't mind the decrease in distance happening here. It's kind of quaint. I just can't stop zooming in. I'm trying so hard not to get in there and nice bitchin'. I think the only thing, I'm still not a fan of like this area, bottom left, especially now that I've started changing this texture. I think the other thing is generally if I'm doing a painting, you almost always end up putting shit in the fucking foreground. Like you'd like a big ass tree right here to say like, oh, this is really close to the viewer and this is how big this would be. Like this, which is fun, but like that's not in the photo, and I don't wanna cop out. Siri, stop it. I don't know. Looking at it on not to the iPad screen, it fucking blows. This is no bueno. And I mean, it's like it's not that bad. It's just like you look at this and like, oh yeah, you're just not done yet. You gotta do some more stuff. But I just don't know what that stuff is at this point in my fake version of my hometown. Especially with the addition of this building, it's kind of a strange composition. Strange meaning bad, like not good. What is this color? If I bring in some light on this, like a little ridge. Oh, that's fun, isn't it? Kind of flattens this bit out a bit. show a little bit of light coming through these trees. Not a ton of light because it's pretty late in the day here. I'm gonna try blending with this same thing. I like that hill. This hill up front is looking pretty good, but it's just, I don't know, like, what am I doing, you know? What am I doing with the rest of it? Alright, well, that's the end of the stream. My wife's calling, so I'm gonna stop now.